All right, so now I'm going to kind of share with you the 10 lessons I've learned that took me 10 years to figure out. And again, my whole goal is to kind of shortcut you to success and save you 10 years, basically a decade of time having to figure this stuff out through trial and error. So, yeah, if I would have been told all of this stuff at the very beginning, I would have saved myself so much time. So, the first thing is the mistake of what method to do, right? I just like you, I was constantly being told I need to post content, I need to build a following, I need to cold DM strangers, I need to do VSLs, webinars, Facebook groups. I was being sold all these outdated strategies that just don't work anymore. And ultimately, it wasted me years of my life. And so, what I've realized over the last 10 years is that content and organic methods to like grow your coaching business is by far the hardest and the slowest way to reach your goal of 10, 20, 30K per month. And so literally, like for example, I wasted 2.5 years posting on YouTube. You can look me up on YouTube right now. Complete waste of my time, giving value and documenting my story. I didn't get any clients doing that. And not only that, I talk to coaches every single week because that's what I do for a living. And 99.9% of them, they've tried posting content, they tried building a following, and almost all of them have nothing to show for it. They've been doing it for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, posting content, being on Instagram, posting reels, stories, things like that, and they got nothing to show for it. And I know that because these people come to me for advice on how to like grow their coaching business running ads. And so, yeah, if I were you, I would not try to create content. I would not try to build a following. I don't think content is a bad thing. I just think revolving your whole business off of content and trying to go viral is just not, it's not predictable, it's not scalable, and it's just based off of luck. You're hoping that the algorithm is going to push your content out there, right? You're hoping your content goes viral, and the reality of that happening is literally slim to none. And so if you're doing content or if you're trying to build a following, you're going to have to spend at least 3 to 5 years of consistent creating content to see any kind of traction. And I don't know about you, but I don't have 3 to 5 years of my time to waste. So yeah, ultimately that's the main thing. The second thing with the problem with posting content is that it's super saturated. Literally everyone under the sun is doing it. Like you can take a look at tons of people right now that are trying to create content. They're trying to build a following on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. And they've got crickets, right? They've got a couple of likes, they got a couple of follows, but that doesn't pay your bills. And so it just doesn't work anymore. And again, I've tried this myself and I failed. I talked to so many people and they try it themselves. They waste years of their life. They have nothing to show for it. No clients, no cash, no revenue, nothing. And so, yeah, I mean, ultimately posting content organic, in my opinion, is the hardest and the slowest way to grow your coaching business by far. So this leads to my second lesson, which is ads are the easiest way. Now, that doesn't mean that ads are easy. Okay. Ads are hard. But in terms of all the methods out there to grow your coaching business, ads are by far the easiest path, right? If ads were easy, everyone would be doing it. Everyone would be, multimillionaires. And that's just not the case, right? The reality is that you have to make ads work. Throwing an ad out there is not the hard part. Making your ads profitable, where you spend $1 and you get $5 back consistently, repeatedly every month, that's the hard part. And that's why I help my clients do. That's like why people work with me, to teach them the entire process. So, and another thing is that you have to be good at selling when you run ads, right? And so if you run ads, but you're not good at selling, you will immediately burn cash because it will expose your deficiency in sales. Like if you want to sell high ticket, you want to make your ads profitable, you have to know how to sell. You have to know how to jump on a call. You know how to talk to people. Like you need to know that skill if you want to run ads profitably. And so that's what discourages a lot of people. But ultimately, that is the easiest path. People think that sales is like the hardest skill to learn. In all actuality, it's really not. And so, and this is coming from a guy who was terrified of taking sales calls, terrified of selling. I'm an introvert. I'm behind the scenes. I didn't like the idea of selling, and I avoided it for so long. But the second I started doing running ads and selling and jumping on calls, that's the second that my business started to blow up and really grow and make more money in my bank account. And so you can pay money today and you can target your ideal clients tomorrow. Literally, you can't do this with content. Like if you're creating content right now, you're going to, again, wait 2-3 years before you actually build a substantial following with real people that are going to buy from you. But chances are you're not going to have that for a very long time. And what's cool about ads is that if you're good at converting, you're good at selling, you can make money literally tomorrow. Like we can literally get your ad up and running tomorrow or, whatever, the day after that. And you can have clients coming in next week And there's not a lot of systems and methods that can actually do that quickly. Like, that is pretty insane that you can spend a little bit of money to get in front of your ideal market, in front of your dream client. And as long as you're good at converting those leads and good at speaking to them and sales, you can close them and have new clients literally by next week. And ultimately, you're paying for speed, right? So instead of having to wait 3 to 5 years to build a following, you can pay a little bit of money, right? $20, $50, $100 just a day, and that could generate you leads every single day. And that's amazing. And so, yeah, again, content usually gets likes and follows, but it doesn't get you clients or money. And so with the right message to the right people, you can get highly targeted leads. You can get people who have already tried things in the past and failed. I call them hot buyer type leads, which is they've tried a bunch of stuff. They're very aware that they have a problem and they're looking for a solution. They're looking for someone to invest into to help them solve this problem. And that's what ads can do for you. It can bring you in front of those people. And content can't really do that easily, right? But with ads, you can do that tomorrow. And these people, you can have people that are desperate to invest money to solve the problem now, which is the key thing, right? Again, I call them hot buyer type leads. And so they want to know more about you and your offer and just see if you guys are a good fit, right? If they like you, if they like your price, if they can afford it, and obviously, they like you as a person, right? Because you are selling yourself. You're not selling a product. You're not selling a course. You're selling you. And so if they like you, they will buy. And again, if you're good at selling, you can convert them into clients, a lot of clients. And again, ads are speed. You can pay money now, you get leads now. And the better the lead quality, if you target it right, I mean, if you get really good at targeting your dream clients, you will never have an issue of low quality leads because you know how to get in front of the right person with ads. And again, ads are the only way to consistently, predictably scale your business overnight. And it took me a long time to figure this out. The third thing is charging low ticket was a huge mistake of mine. So a lot of people in this space, they get into it thinking, oh, I'm going to sell a $300 course. I'm going to sell a $500 course. Maybe I'm going to sell a $1,000 course. And in all reality, it's too low. It's too low of a price. It's not enough to really make a difference in your life. Because the reality is that it's hard to come by customers. It's hard to get clients. And the less customers you need a month to reach your financial goals, the easier it will be for you, right? So if you're selling, for example, a $100 product, well, you need lots and lots of customers to reach your financial goal of $10,000 a month, right? But if you're selling, let's say, a $3,000 product or a $4,000 product, well, you only need 2 or 3 clients. That's way easier, right? And it's contrary to what you'd believe. You would think it'd be easier to sell a cheap product to a lot of people, but in reality, it's way easier to sell a few people on a higher price product. And this is something that took me a long time to understand. And I was really stuck on this one mindset block, which is like, I don't know if I could actually sell something for a high ticket price point. And in reality, it's way easier than you think. And just to give you an example with my own story, it's like when I was selling a $300, $400, $500 course, like I'd get 5 to 8 clients paying me that, and it wouldn't make a difference in my life. Like, that financially didn't make a difference. I was barely making enough just to pay bills. And so high ticket, again, you only need a few clients to make significant income, right? So $100 per client, you need hundreds of those people to pay you. With a 2 to 3K per client, you only need 3 clients to beat most people's income, right? And so it's just easier to sell fewer people than a lot of people. So with high ticket, the only skill you have to learn is sales, right? How to sell on the phone. That's it. And it took me 10 years to figure that out. But hindsight, it's not that hard to learn. And I avoided it for so long. And so when I switched to selling high ticket, I finally made significant life-changing income, right? It wasn't when I was selling a $405 course. It was when I was selling thousands of dollars worth of programs, right? And so another thing, which is why you should charge high ticket, another reason why, is because you're going to have better clients. You're also going to get your clients better results. Let me explain. So when someone pays more money, they pay more attention. They do the stuff that you tell them to do. They get better results. And when you make more money, you can reinvest that money back into the product, back into the service to make your product better for your clients. So it's a win-win situation to charge high ticket. Not to mention, when you charge high ticket, you're going to be working with better clients. The people that buy a $300 course, they're the hardest people to please. They're hard to deal with. They have really high expectations. They're asking what their guarantee is, what your guarantee for the product is. The people that pay high ticket, they expect it and they go, hey, money sent, it's wired, ready to go, right? They're just easier people to deal with. And I've noticed this just firsthand. Like, the higher priced your product is, the better quality clients you're going to be working with. Okay. And again, customers are hard to come by. So, yeah, I already said all that. So the more that they pay, the more they pay attention, the better results they're going to get. And then again, less headache, more fun to work with. The ultimate reason why you want to build a business is you want freedom and you want peace, right? You don't want more chaos. You want peace. And so the way that you do that is by working with the higher quality clients. So that's why you should charge high ticket, not only to get your goals faster, not only to make it so much easier for you to reach your income goals, but it's just far better for you, for the customer. And yeah, there's so many reasons. The next thing is learn how to sell, right? You need to learn how to sell on a call. The days of you selling in the DM and not jumping on a call with them and selling a $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 product, those days are long gone. And so your competitors are jumping on Zoom calls to build trust and build a connection with your prospects, right? So you need to do the same thing. You need to learn how to sell. You need to learn how to build trust. You need to learn how to have a sales conversation with someone on Zoom. And so you can't sell high ticket without doing this. You have to jump on calls. And so the sooner that you can embrace it and just learn the skill of sales, the quicker you can actually get to your dream goal and make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. And again, this is something that I had a really hard time dealing with. I had a really hard time accepting this, which is I hated the idea of jumping on a call and selling people. I didn't like it. Like, I am just introverted. I just wanted to do my own thing. I'm a nerdy guy. Like, I don't want to jump on calls and sell, right? Number one, people's idea of what selling really is not what it actually is. Like, selling at the end of the day is service, right? If you want to help more people, you need to learn how to sell, period, right? Otherwise, people are not going to work with you. They're not going to take you up on your offer. And then they don't get the opportunity to change their life with your system if it actually works, right? And so you need to learn how to sell in order to help more people, period. And again, it's just not realistic to sell high ticket through DMs or content alone. You have to jump on calls. And so on a Zoom call, they see your face, they hear you out, they feel your personality, and trust is built, right? And again, I avoided sales calls for 3 to 5 years. If I just didn't do this one thing, if I just embraced this and jumped on sales calls at year one, I would have been able to get my first few clients high ticket way, way faster, and I made way more money way quicker and got into my goals. And this one thing literally wasted me half a decade. I'm not even exaggerating. I was so terrified of taking sales calls, and it's really not that bad. Now I love it. Now I enjoy it. You're always going to hate something when you suck at it at first, but as you get better at something, you begin to love it. Now that I'm good at sales, I love taking sales calls. You can see my cat in the background. But anyway, so yeah, that's a huge thing that, like, you just have to embrace it. I understand if you're scared of taking sales calls and getting on and meeting people. It's really not that hard. It's not rocket science. Okay. The next thing is going to be selling one-on-one coaching, not courses. So everyone thinks they need to build a course because the dream of, like, having something completely automated, you just have a bunch of videos in a course and then you have no fulfillment. You don't have to do anything with your clients. It's just completely passive income. The reality of that happening is slim to none. Okay. You have to offer the most valuable thing. The people in the marketplace that offer the most value are always going to win. And the most valuable thing that you can offer to somebody is time with you, one-on-one coaching, right? They don't pay you for videos. Your prospects are not going to want to pay you just to watch videos in a course. They want to pay you because they want the result. And the best way to guarantee they're going to get the result is by giving them access to you, time with you, one-on-one, where they can ask you questions and you can guide them through the process, and they can pick your brain and find out how you did this step correctly and what you did wrong on here. Having access to you is by far the most valuable thing you can give, and it makes you selling high ticket significantly easier. If you're trying to sell a course completely automated for $3,000, good luck. But if you're selling it with one-on-one time with you, access to you with coaching calls, it's so much easier to sell that. It's far more valuable, so much easier. And literally, just to give you an example, like an idea for what we do with our clients, right, is we recommend that our clients just offer at least one Zoom call a week with each client. One Zoom call a week. It could be an hour long. Doesn't matter how long it is, but ultimately just giving them that access to you one-on-one to guide them is going to be the most valuable thing you offer them. And that's what they pay you for, right? To help them get to the result. It's the one thing that they could get from you that would increase the likelihood they actually succeed. And so clients don't buy the product, they buy you, right? That's why you need to jump on a call with somebody, is because they're not buying your product, they're buying you. They're buying your personality. They're buying into who you are. You are selling yourself, essentially. And they want access to you, right? And you don't want to waste months creating a course before knowing if it sells. I know a lot of people in this space that will literally spend 3 to 6 months procrastinating, trying to build the perfect course when they don't even know if people actually want the thing that they're going to sell. So the smartest thing to do is sell the product first, give them one-on-one coaching with you, don't have a course built out. My first year doing business had no course. All I offered was Zoom calls. Okay. Do that first. And then once you've proven that you can sell this thing at this price, then you can start adding the course in. The course is just to save you time. It's not to give more value to your prospect. It's just to save you time. That's it. The most value you can give to someone are the one-on-one calls. And so all of my clients start with no course, just one-on-one coaching. Again, you add the course in later after you've proven you could sell this thing, and you need to buy back your time. And again, people don't care about videos. They care about results of transformation. Add a course later if you have too many clients and you have limited time, but it's not going to add any more value than one-on-one calls. The one-on-one calls is the most valuable thing you can offer. So offer it. Hiring a coach. Okay, so this is a big one. This is one of the biggest reasons why it took me 10 years to get to where I am today in my career, right? Is that I thought I could just do everything on my own. I thought I could just take pieces of information from all these different coaches and all these different people and all these different gurus and watch a bunch of YouTube videos. And I thought I could get to where I wanted to go quick. And the reality is it took me 10 years of my life. And that is a massive chunk of my existence on earth. And the fact that is that I could have hired someone and learned everything that I've learned now over 10 years of trial and error. I could have learned that within weeks and months. And I could have been living my dream life 10 years ago, right? But I didn't make that decision. I made a massive mistake and I thought, nope, I can just do this on my own. So moral of the story is you need to hire a coach. And I don't care if you hire me, but hire somebody, because hiring anybody is going to help you get to your goal much, much faster. Even if it doesn't work out, worst case scenario, you're going to at least learn what not to do moving forward. And at least you're moving in the right direction towards your goal. But taking no action and just procrastinating and just trying to learn information on your own, it's going to take you way more time and you're not going to really make much progress. You're really not. And so, yeah, it's going to save you years of your life. It will get you to your goals much faster. The ROI that you get will far surpass the money that you spent, period. The best investment you can make into yourself is into yourself. Like, take your money, and this is what I'm going to do. Moving into towards the end of 2025 and 2026, every month that we, when I make 30, 40K per month, I'm going to take at least 30% of that profit and I'm just going to invest into coaches because I want to get to my goals so much faster. And I want to save myself time. And not to mention, if you get to your goal faster, you'll make more money. You'll make back the money easily. So for example, I hired a coach and I paid him $11,000. Okay. Think about that. That was a lot of money for me at the time. That was a huge chunk of my bank account. And I was very nervous of making that investment. Okay. Terrified of doing it. I was shaking on the call. I mean, it was horrible. It was a disaster. I even was talking to my parents about it. I was like, hey, do you think I should do this investment? What do you think? And of course my parents said, no, don't do it. That's not smart, right? You can figure it out on your own, right? But they didn't know that I literally tried figuring this out on my own for years up to that point. And it took me so long to get any kind of results. So basically what I did is I decided to just make the investment anyway, right? I paid the money. I did it anyway, because I knew I need to get better at sales. I knew I need to get better at selling. And the result was, after working with that coach, I have now, up to this point, have made hundreds of thousands of dollars from that one single investment. So I paid $11K and now I've made, such a massive return from that one investment. And I am extremely positive ROI from that one skill for the rest of my life. And it's going to continue to compound. I'm going to continue to make more and more of a return from that one skill that I learned, right? And not to mention, it saved me years of my life. Without hiring him, I guarantee you it would have taken me 7 years to learn the skill of sales through trial and error, not to mention how much money I'm losing not knowing how to sell, right? I call it the ignorance tax, right? Which is that the time that you don't know a skill, right? How to run ads and how to make 10, 20, 30K per month, you are losing money every single month that you don't know how to learn that skill. So if you don't know how to make 10, 30K per month, you are losing 10 to 30K per month until you learn it. That's the way that I think about it. You're paying an ignorance tax. And the fastest way to solve it is to hire someone who's where you want to be, 3 steps ahead of you. You don't want to hire someone who's too far ahead of you because they're doing a completely different thing than what you want to be doing. But you want to hire someone that's the next step ahead of you and find out what they're doing and get access to them, proximity to them, and pick their brain and master the skill that they've learned, right? That's what you want to do. And that's how you collapse the time for you. And it's basically like going through a time machine to get to your goals so much faster. And that's why I'm so big on mentorship and coaching. And again, this is something that I personally was very stubborn on. I always thought, nope, I can just figure this on my own. Nope, I can just do this on my own. And again, it wasted me 10 years of my life. And I'm saying this to you because I don't want you to make the same mistake that I did. So I hired that one coach. I now have doubled my closing rate. I double my price. I am closing deals left, right, and center. I don't have a sales issue anymore. And so now I've fixed that skill in my business. And I don't have to worry about it anymore. And that's an amazing thing that I've solved. It's a massive problem in my business that I was able to solve. And again, it would have taken me 7 years to figure that out if I didn't hire that person. So it's massive. Hiring a coach will save you years of your life. It will get you to your goals and make you more money so much faster. It is literally a no-brainer to invest into a coach. And again, I am not saying this because I'm a coach. I do not care if you hire me or hire somebody else, right? Hire somebody. Hire somebody that you trust. Hire somebody that you believe in and go all in. Because either way, worst case scenario, you're going to learn through trial and error that whatever that you didn't work out, or best case scenario, you change your life and you make tons of money and you get to your dream life, dream goal, right? And so that was one of the biggest mistakes that I made that, I wish I would have been told. I wish I would have seen this video when I first started, genuinely, because it would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of money. Okay. That was literally the best decision I ever made, was hiring that one coach. Like, if I think of all of the smartest decisions I ever made, that was the best decision I ever made, was hiring that one coach. And so that's why I believe in coaching and mentorship in general. It collapses the learning curve. It gets you to your dream life faster. It saves you time, makes you more money, gets you results quicker. So hire a coach. It's a no-brainer. And then I even did the ROI on this. Like, I thought about the math of, how much money I was losing by not hiring a coach, right? And I was amazed by the ROI I got from just hiring one. So before hiring my mentor, my closing rate, which is like how many of the calls that you close, my closing rate before I hired my mentor was 10 to 15%, which is pretty bad, right? That's horrible. And after hiring him, my closing rate jumped from 10 to 15% to 30 to 40%. That is almost triple, right? I am tripling the amount of sales that I make forever, as long as I run my business, from this one investment I made with him. And again, this one skill is going to continue to pay me for life. It's going to make me millions in the future, right? Right now, it's already made me hundreds of thousands of dollars. In the future, it'll make me millions. And again, it's just one investment I made. And again, to give you context, I closed 5-figure deals on sales calls. So the difference in close rate is equal to hundreds of thousands of dollars lost just by not hiring sooner. Okay. So again, hire a coach, especially the right coach that you can trust. It is the most important thing you could possibly do. And then the last thing is using AI in my business. So we use AI and we integrate it for all of our clients to basically create ads for our clients within minutes and seconds. What I've done is I took all the data from all of my best clients, all their best winning ads. We even took their winning audiences. So like the targeting that we put our ads in front of, like how we actually target the right people with all of our clients. We took all the winning ads, we took all the winning audiences, and we created basically a spreadsheet. And we created a prompt and a bot based on this to like spit out and replicate the exact same results, because I don't want to reinvent the wheel and do something new every single time. I just want, for my clients, I just want to give to them what's already working. I want to give them a proven ad and a proven system that is already proven to convert and make money from my past clients. I just want to give it to them and modify it for their offer, modify it for their niche, And that's pretty much all I want to do. I just want to replicate what's already working. I don't want to like reinvent the wheel and do something completely new. And so that, using ChatGPT has saved me so much time. It lets me print ads every week, every month. It helps me create content ideas, which I'm going to get really big on content here soon, and just giving value as much as I possibly can. Sorry, you saw my cat. And then it helps me constantly test new ad angles, because again, with ads, you have to test. You have to create a bunch of different ads, because you might create 10 ads and only 1 or 2 of them actually crush. And so the key is to like test a bunch to find those winning ads very quickly. And so we use ChatGPT for that, for the content, for the ads, basically for every part of the process. But again, it's a very specific bot that we created just for our clients to use, that I fed it all the data, all the information from years of clients, from hundreds of clients, results, their success, all the data that we needed to get them the best results. So AI was a game changer for us. Again, we track everything, all of our data. And that's another huge tip I want to mention, which I didn't even write down here, but I'm going to say it off the cuff, which is track your data. Okay. What I mean by that is that you need to find a way to track your numbers in every single part of the process of your business. So, for example, I know exactly what my booking to call conversion percentage is, right? I know the exact percentage of how many of my leads turn into a call. I know my exact percentage of how many of my calls turn into a client. How many calls I actually close. I know exactly what my no-show rate is on people who don't show up on the call. I know all of these numbers because I track my data. You have to track data, and I know that sounds super like nerdy and like woo-woo-y, but like I'm serious. If you don't know your numbers, you are running your business blind. You have no idea what you're doing. You can't identify bottlenecks in your business. You don't know what's working correctly, and you don't know what needs to be improved. And the numbers will literally scream at you, hey, this thing is broken in the system. You need to fix this. It just makes business on easy mode, basically. And it just gives you complete clarity on what you need to do to improve the business and scale it and go further and make more money. And so we track all of our data. We have our clients track their data as well. That's how I can help them and it also helps them identify what they need to improve on, but it helps me also help them, because instead of us making decisions off of, emotions, right, which is just random and luck, we base it off of facts and numbers. And so that's one of the biggest things that we use that has been a biggest game changer for not only me, but also my clients as well, to help us scale and to grow consistently. So yeah, I know this video was kind of like all over the place, but I wanted to be raw and real. And sometimes it's messy, but I don't want to be one of those super edited, YouTubers. I just want to be myself, and I want to be imperfect, and I just want to be raw and real, because I think that's important for you to see like what it really looks like, what the business looks like, what the people behind the business actually look like. And again, I am not that smart. I am not that special. I have ADHD. I have lots of character flaws, but I have the right information when it comes to growing a coaching business. And that's how I'm able to help my clients and help myself grow consistently every single month. And you are basically a little bit of information and a little bit of execution away from reaching your dream goal. Like, you are literally 6 inches away from your dream life. I am not exaggerating when I say that. It actually doesn't take much, but in order for you to find that information, you're going to have to do a lot of trial and error for years of your life to find out what that information is. Or you can just hire a coach. Either way, doesn't matter to me. But if I were you, I would definitely hire a coach. It's an absolute no-brainer. And it's just going to save you time. It's going to get your goals much faster. But anyway, so hopefully that was valuable. Again, I wish I saw this stuff when I was a kid or when I first started this. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, this is the most important things that changed the game for me. So, yeah, if you found this video valuable, let me know. But that's it.